In this video, you are going to see carnage between YouTubers. Hi there, Dead-Eye Boy here, back with another video, and in this one we're going to see a Group 4 battle of 3 laps round Spa, and in front of us, you can see there, we've got SparksTheory and EERIEISSSS. So, that, by my calculations, is about 130,000 subscriber count just ahead of us. With Sparks really hot at the moment. He's building a channel like I've never seen. Well, maybe only other channel I've seen built like this is Rory, and he's fast approaching 10,000 subscribers. So SparksTheory has got an absolutely amazing channel. Check him out if you get the chance. And Rory, well, he's got 120,000 plus subscribers. It's insane. So you can see in the top right, we've got a few subscribers. So if you fancy helping us get towards the 10,000 subscriber mark, then you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's free, it's painless, and you might just enjoy the channel. You never know. So if you could help us, it would be very much appreciated. But enough of that YouTube nonsense. We've got a race to get on with here, and as you can see, we're right on the tail of Sparks, who had a little bit of a incident himself at turn 1 there. It allowed us to sort of get right on his tail, but you can see the slipstream is really in effect on this race, because we're all in the same car basically. I think everybody was driving the McLaren, and that meant that the gain you were getting from the slipstream was somewhat negated, because the car in front had the same slipstream gain from the car in front, and they're all the same cars. So I don't know, there's probably some mathematician, physicist out there who can probably work out that we probably all stay the same speed and gain the same amount. I don't know. Anyway, that's one for using math boffins. But we are still in this race, and we are P5, and nothing's really happened so far. But that's not that's not going to stay like this. Otherwise, it would be a pointless video, as you know. But what we do know is the leader isn't getting away. Nobody's really getting away, and that is crucial. You really need to just not make a mistake. If you make one mistake here round Spa, it can just be so crucial. You can pick up a half-second penalty, and if you serve the penalty on this straight, then you are in trouble. The car in front will just disappear. Now, the car behind us has had a penalty. That's Janice and Mark, another friend of the channel. He has had a little bit of an issue, and we have gained a little bit on him. Well, we've dropped him a little bit, and that's given us a little bit of breathing room from behind. But we are just trying to focus on staying with the pack in front of us. To be honest with you, Sparks and Rory were probably a little bit quicker than me race pace wise round this combination. They've maybe done a little bit more racing on this combination this week. Certainly Rory has, because he was live streaming it, obviously. We just jumped in. This was race 1 of the day for us. We've done a couple of warm-up laps and hopped in, and well, we're just going to see if we can hang on to the coattails of Sparks in front and see if he can pull us along into the lead group. Now, the lead group was threatening there to get away a little bit, but up ahead, I believe Rory picked up a penalty there, so that was helpful. Well, certainly from my point of view, certainly from Sparks' point of view, and you can see up ahead as well, there's cars pulling out to the right. Somebody's going to make the move, and indeed it is Rory making the move up to P2, getting past one of the Flying Dutchmen, who were basically dominating this race all afternoon. So Rory's managed to get in between both of them, which is going to put a cat amongst the pigeons, let's just say that. So that's potentially a bit of hope for myself and a bit of hope for Sparks. You can see there the penalty appearing above Rory's car, and that's also going to be quite helpful, because it's going to then bunch up the pack again, hopefully, providing we don't make any more mistakes, or any mistakes around here. We've not really made any mistakes, but you can just tell when you're just slightly off the pace of the cars in front. They're just getting on the power a little bit earlier than you. You can tell at every corner, every turn, maybe just eking out. Well, even if it's just a couple of, well, not even as much as a tenth, but just it all adds up. Maybe a little tenth here, a tenth every couple of corners, and before you know it, you're 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths you've dropped, and then you're starting to get into the critical phase of trying to stay within the slipstream. But did I say slipstream? I meant slipstream. But you can see here, Sparks hasn't really dropped me, and that's good news for me, but the pack up ahead are dropping us. That's not good news. But it's all going to change, because you can see here, Rory has got the penalty. He's serving it now, so Sparks is now going to be firmly into the slipstream of him in front, and we are going to now try to close up, because this is an opportunity. If you can just keep the pace up through into the final braking zone, coming up to the bus stop, then you can really close up on the cars in front and try get a good drive out of turn one. Now Rory just about saves it. There's the back end goes, and then he goes full 180, and Sparks, I don't know if he touched him I don't know if, well, certainly at the time he must have thought he touched him, but he comes to an almost standstill on the racing line coming out the bus stop, and we can't go anywhere else other than into his rear end. Thankfully I just about managed to react enough in time that I didn't go slamming straight into the back of him, and I just kind of clipped the corner and it kept my car going forward. So we did lose obviously time, because you can see now Janice and Mark behind us, they have caught up with us by over a second, and well, at this point I'm just thinking, what just happened there? Because that was totally out the blue, unexpected. But it's worked out for us, because we're now up to P3. The leaders, to be fair, the Flying Dutchmen, they are in a league of their own in terms of pace at the moment. Rory was doing amazingly well just to get in amongst them and try and mix it up with them. We are not going to be able to close that gap at all. So all we are thinking about now is protecting what we have. You can see there's been another change from the positions behind, and we've got a Spaniard now, and Chupagetti on his UK EU account. He's coming through the pack now, and he's coming into the mix. So as I said, I'm just now thinking about protecting what we have, because we know that this is a game being live streamed and people are going to see the name appearing in the top 3. It would be just like me to bin it under absolutely no pressure from another car. The worst pressure I can ever put myself under is the pressure from the space between my ears. It is deadly at times, and if I've got too much time to think about the potential result of a race, that is when I am at my absolute worst. Now, we've only got a couple of corners to go, but these corners here, this one in particular, if you get it wrong, you can end up out on the curb, and it's almost like you get stuck on a rail and it can just throw the car off onto the AstroTurf, and before you know it, you're 360 down the straight. But we didn't do that, we kept it, and there's absolutely no need now, because look at the gap, we've got no need to take any chances here. We can stay in 6th gear, we can absolutely take a foot off the accelerator and coast round. We just need to get through the bus stop without doing what Rory did, which was lose the back end and save it, but we're going to be fine. We've got that under control, no need to take any chances whatsoever, and we're going to come across the line for the victory and take the unofficial Battle of YouTube title. Well, that's what I'm calling it anyway. You can see here, now here's the incident from my point of view. You can see Sparks just slows down because he's convinced he must have touched Rory, and it almost ends up in disaster for all 3 of us instead of just the 2 of them. You can see from Sparks' point of view, he's coming round the final corner here, and Rory's just getting a bit out of shape, so I don't know if Rory just overcorrected it or not. It looked like Sparks gave him the slightest of touches. I certainly gave Sparks a touch there, and you can see we carry on up the road. Looking at it from Rory's point of view though, you can see here perhaps he's absolutely, well, it doesn't look like there's much of a touch there at all, and then when he gets his back end, the back rear, right rear onto the AstroTurf, sorry, it just sends him into a spin. You can see those Sparks, the gentleman that he is, waited for Rory because he thought he might have touched him and he didn't want to take any chances. It got worse though. Round at turn 1, Rory ends up doing donuts, and then Sparks sees him on the right hand side, and I don't know if it was out of sympathy, he loses it on the curb and then just starts turning left on a straight and almost collects, well, he did collect an unfortunate victim. This guy, the Italian, you can see here, driving along, minding his own business, and he has a SparksTheory stuck to his front bumper. But all in all, it was a fantastic race to be a part of. It's great being out on track and getting to race against guys who you often watch streaming but don't often get the chance to race against. So that was a real privilege. And Also, it shows the benefit of not having setups in Daily Race B. Everybody was able just to jump into this race without much of a practice, couple of laps warm up, everybody's in the same car. The only thing that dictates the finishing position is the driver's skill. So PD, if you're listening, keep it like this, please. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, help us try and reach that 10,000 subscriber dream. And yeah, thank you again for the support and watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.